Welcome to the WDW News Today podcast. My name is Eric Morton. With me, as always, is my co-host Tom Corliss and special guest Nana Tanaka.
Yay!
Due to popular demand, Nana's second appearance, I believe, on the podcast.
Yep, it is.
So we're very honored to have
we
you,
wearing
Nana.
the same T-shirt? I didn't even realize.
What are you
No.
talking about? We matching
We're the
again?
same
Oh my god!
Yours is like
Paul.
dark. Oh no, yeah. Look at you.
Why are we always matching?
I didn't even realize.
Last 2 days we matching.
What did
Not-
you wear yesterday?
Not yesterday, but like when we went to the festival. Was it festival? You were wearing the same
Photo?
thing?
Yeah.
See, we
Go watch the Festival of the Arts review if you haven't. Nana comes in for several reviews, and it got rave reviews. People loved it.
People love Nana's reviews.
Yay!
So now we threw Nana on the podcast again.
Again.
Oh no.
Yeah. They said you didn't talk much the first time.
No, nobody said
They
that.
said
You
the,
said that.
the white men dominated the conversation. So I'm going to try to shut up as much as possible to avoid what happened then.
We'll
I
see.
apologize I wasn't on an episode last week. I'll get it out of the way real quick. I've been gone for a while. A lot of the WIGS know who are watching live. My brother Andy passed away. And so I've been gone for a while. I'm back. We're ready to do that. He want me to keep going with this, and that's what we're going to do. But there's been a lot going on, and I've missed you guys. I wish I could have been here instead of there, obviously.
Yeah.
And
Well, we missed you too, and obviously Andy was a big part of our family.
yeah, Andy was
Andy.
on our staff, and Andy, a lot of people had seen him on summer. He's been on Locked In. He'd been on Boxed In. He'd been on News Tonight, and we're going to miss him. He was a very large figure for a small man. In fact, we're planning a service that's going to have a very large theater has graciously agreed to host a very large venue because they said you're going to need it. I think over 650 people can fit in this.
Wow.
So I'm going to go back up there for that. Obviously, my sister and I and a friend of ours wrote an obituary. Hillary and then our friend Will Averill really helped us clean it up, and that takes a lot out of you. We're creative people. That's not the type of stuff we want to be doing. But I want to have some fun. We have a topic of conversation that I find interesting, but people are always here for the ado. So without further ado, and I don't know if there's any ado for you. You've been eating new candies or anything like that? No?
I mean, I went to California.
Oh.
Does all the candy there say this candy is known to cause cancer?
Cause cancer, yeah.
Wow.
Pretty much. Yeah, I don't know. Went to the Walt Disney Family Museum, though. That was fantastic. Loved
That's
it.
incredible. So
Yeah.
you're getting up. You have a 5:50 a.m.
Going
flight.
back to California tomorrow, yeah.
I had a 5:30 a.m. flight from Kansas City here this morning. It's the first time when I got here. It was foggy. I was all excited because I haven't seen the sun in like a month. It was -5 degrees most of the time I was up there. Kansas was getting hit pretty
It's
hard.
been hot
the Midwest,
here again.
and then now it's warm, and I saw the sun today. I think that seasonal affected disorder is a real thing, right?
It
I
is.
love cold weather.
yeah,
I
of
love
course.
snow. But at some point I was like, man, when's the last time I saw the sun? I don't know.
Wow.
Foggy, cold, slick, crappy, all those things. So my car's still up there. I get to drive it back. Hopefully it's not as icy as it was on the way up there. I'm talking to you, Chattanooga.
Yeah, you got stuck in Chattanooga.
5 hours in the ice in Chattanooga. I was stuck. That was rough. So, yeah, I don't know. The Oscar nominations are out. There's a lot of controversy, I guess, about Barbie.
Yeah, that's nonsense that Greta Gerwig didn't get a nod.
It got nominated for Best Picture, but she didn't get nominated for Best Director.
Come on, it's nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
But okay, but here's a hypothetical. If you're a director, would you rather win Best Director or Best Picture? Because I think Best Picture is validation of your.
I think you're happy
directorial-
with either.
Yeah.
Right? I'd be happy with either.
I think that's
don't know.
something that maybe she can share with everyone. You know what I mean? Like they
That's
created
true,
this thing
yeah.
together, and maybe that feels like a better accomplishment. Also, like, what's the moon thing?
What is it? Killers of the Flower Moon?
Yeah, like everyone who saw that has been like, eh.
It was
kind
a
of a
great
drag.
movie until the end, and he had a very weird choice for that ending, and I thought it was a poor choice. And it's a shame because I really liked the rest of the movie. But I really think very similar to Asteroid City. I thought both of them had endings where weird choices were made, which you expect more weird choices to be made in Asteroid City, given whose movie it is. But Killers of the Flower Moon, I thought would be, would have a more logical finish, and it didn't. And that's all I'll say. I don't want to spoil it for people, but the performances were fantastic. And
It was a streaming only movie, right?
No, it was in theaters.
Was
I went
it
to see it in
theaters?
theaters. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's this thing now where the
Shows how
streaming
much I get
companies
out.
now the streaming companies are like, yeah, we're gonna make a movie, but also like, oh, we'll release it in theaters too. So it's weird how that's happened where they used to make their movies just to sell the streaming service, and now they're like, well, we're a film studio, so we'll release it, and then we're the streaming home for it after anyway. If you choose not to go to the theater,
I don't pretend to understand the movie industry,
yeah,
but it's changing a lot. And so I know, like this year, Taylor Swift just bypassed the studios entirely and made a whole movie of her concert and released it straight to theaters. And all the studios were mad that they as the unnecessary middleman, got cut out.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting to watch what's happening to the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does touch on.
and no one knows
obviously,
what to
our
do,
subject
right?
matter.
I mean, your $1 billion movies last year were things you would think would be, right? Although I don't think anyone thought Barbie was going to be the giant
Super Mario Brothers
success
was
it was.
big.
But Mario, I think we all knew would be, right? But then the predictions for this year are that they only think what Despicable Me
Despicable
4,
Me
that's
4.
the only thing they think will cross $1 billion, but I'm sure something else will break through, right? I think all we know from post-COVID is you never know what will succeed.
Yeah.
Top Gun sequel, I didn't think a Top Gun sequel was a thing people were going to care
incredible.
about.
It was
And it
incredible.
was, and then it broke through because it was, right? Same with Barbie, where I think Barbie would have made several $100 million, but it ended up being all the right choices and what would have been, probably just a filler movie. Like, and actually, there's no guarantee, right? Because like Battleship was a tremendous turd, right? There's been plenty of these
I could have
movies,
predicted that.
these weird movies based on but you would think Barbie's not any better source material, right? Like, although you hired all the right people to do it, and instead you have something that's a cultural phenomenon that will stand the test of time.
Yeah, I think when I first heard there was a Barbie movie, I was like, whatever. But then it had a
Yeah.
lot of this, a lot of gravitas, and it became a cultural thing. Like, oh, if you're going to see Oppenheimer, you got to see Barbie. I don't know. I didn't finish
Yeah.
Barbie yet.
I love it.
talked about-
Both of those movies are great.
It was fine. Like I said, I just haven't finished it because I was watching it online and got distracted, and there was a game or something, and I just haven't gotten around to getting back to it.
Nan, have you seen any of these movies?
No.
No? Do you don't watch movies?
I mean, I do watch movies, but
Are they Japanese
Barbie
language
is.
films?
Excuse
You were watching
me?
Japanese television the other day when I
I was
called
watching
you, so
a
that's why I'm
Japanese
asking.
documentary on the iPad.
Oh, Godzilla.
That's why I don't know. Wow.
No.
That we're going to be canceled after this one.
That's all right. Barbie
No,
is
because
Barbie.
I wonder, because I'm not bilingual, but you are, so you have the opportunity to watch. You can watch Japanese language television and movies. I was curious because I called and you were watching a Japanese
watching.
language
Yeah.
show the other day. I'm
Yeah.
like, do you watch Japanese language movies then? I don't know.
I don't watch Japanese movie. That's the point. Yep.
Do you watch no movies?
I watch Marvel and everything that
Okay.
is like Disney related, but not Japanese movie.
But you don't do you like movies in general?
I love
No.
movies, but I haven't
It's a
gone to the
perfect
movie
job
theater
for
for a
you
while.
because you love movies.
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie?
Police Academy.
Oh my!
Police Academy? Who's your favorite character? Please say Tackleberry.
Takoyaki.
Is Tackleberry?
Gotta be Takoyaki. Who else?
I mean, who doesn't love policing? I've
Police
never heard anyone
Academy.
say it's their favorite, but I love like those stupid,
I know.
like 80s comedies are the best. Like,
know.
if you're having a bad day, that's the stuff to watch.
I watched
man,
the first
but-
one to the fifth. I
Wow.
think fifth. Yeah, I watched everything.
Tackleberry is like the classic, what people from outside the United States think Americans are, like just guns everywhere. And,
Guns everywhere.
Yeah. What is your favorite movie, Tom?
It changes, but I think it's Back to the Future. It's always between that and Jaws and Ghostbusters. Those
Okay,
are
yeah.
my
Oh,
three.
Universal one.
Universal.
Oh, Ghostbusters is not Universal.
You know, but it was
it's
at
Columbia.
Universal Studios, yeah.
It was at the park, though. Yeah,
Mine, easy. The Princess Bride.
yeah.
Number one all time.
Anybody want a peanut?
Anybody with a peanut?
Andre the Giant.
So there we go. We saw the shirt that you had on under your shirt, but let's talk a little bit about the shirt because I really like that one.
That's pretty.
It's Park Candy.
mansion?
of course. Yeah. So our friends at Park Candy provided this. These
Mansion
are-
inspired.
Yeah, inspired by the mansion. Friends of Park Candy provided this. You can learn more about it, www.nt.link/parkcandy, or go to parkcandy.com. If you use the code WDWNT, you get a 15% discount.
Yes.
And these are great shirts. They're very comfortable. They are adding new designs. I think this is probably one of my most comfortable shirts I have.
But they have more than shirts, right? There are skirts and dresses. It's not just the boys club at
Where's
Park
mine?
Candy. Where's yours? I don't know. We got to get you something. I didn't know you were going to be on.
we don't know. But and anyway, check out Park Candy. I think the shirts are great.
The bottle openers are super cool. Their
The
packaging
bags
is great.
with the mailbox on them. Yeah.
We just had a meeting with them and they brought all their product and we were blown away. We're going to be doing some stuff with them down the line. I can't talk about it yet. But obviously their own stuff is great, but there will be WDWNT stuff in the Park Candy style soon. So stay tuned.
And before we move on to our main topic, I want to ask, I unfortunately, due to my circumstances, had to miss the last day of the Country Bear Jamboree as we know it. Your thoughts?
Nana and I started the day.
Oh, my God.
We roped up. We were the first guests. We were the
did.
first people, which we might have the only, bragging rights because no one can say they were last because no one even knows what the last show was. I might have been in the last show. We still don't
Everything
know.
was breaking.
So the last show I was
door
in,
falling apart.
Henry and Liverlips, who were on the same turntable, both didn't move. And when that happened, if you go watch, they were on Twitter or X, we have the clips of me watching, and you hear me go, oh no. Because obviously, I know we watched Splash Mountain limp across the finish line. I'll look at the camera I'm on. I know we watched Splash Mountain limp across the finish line, and I know you guys are probably used to an animatronic here or there not working on a ride. But if it's a show like Country Bears, you really aren't allowed to operate with the bears not moving, and especially two of them. So every attraction has a point system, and everything that's broken is a certain number of points. And if you break a certain number of points, you have to close. Right? So for instance, I believe Pirates of the Caribbean, I may be wrong, I think the Jack Sparrows are all full points. So I think if a Jack Sparrow isn't working, due to contractual obligations, they have to close the ride and he has to work. So the Country Bear Jamboree, a full bear not working, I think, is an excuse to not operate. And so they were not allowed to operate once the bears didn't work.
How many points is a bat in the Pirates of the Caribbean? Bat infestation.
Obviously, they had enough to reach the limit, but so yeah, the show worked all day until I think it was 7 or 8 o'clock, and then the bears went down, and the cast tried their best for 2 hours to make that happen, and it didn't. But to their credit, everyone, I know there was there may have been more than one, but I know there's one individual cast member. She worked the whole day, and she had that energy level from open to close. The one that she let us in the morning.
Yeah.
Remember, she was great in the morning. She had that energy till the night, and then at the end, two of the cast members were singing all the songs from the show because the show didn't work. So as we walked through the lobby, they were. You'll see it in the video if you watch the video on YouTube. They were tremendous. Management, they tried their best. They went downstairs and got the posters, which they gave to cast. The poster for the new show. They made sure everyone who was in line got one. They let us all come into the theater and take photos in the theater. They did everything they could, right? They couldn't get the show back up, but they did everything they could. It will go down as one of the strangest final nights of any attraction, right? And I think Universe Energy's up there too, because famously that broke during the final ride. They let everybody get out, and they all got to take pictures with all the sets as much as they wanted, and then that was the end of Universe Energy. So Universe Energy and Bears both have these weird, interesting farewells. But I will tell you, we didn't get a final show, but man, if you were in any of the shows all day on the final day, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. It became like Rocky Horror. Everyone sang every song, yelled every line, people were screaming Big Al. It was, I will never forget it. And I think, I was in tears a couple times throughout the day because obviously you guys know I have a very personal connection with the Bears at this point. And to see how many people love that and to know how much that was worth fighting for, what Mark and Walt and everyone gave us, it was a pretty special day.
Nana, who is your favorite Country Bear?
Big girl. Oh, no, I like Oscar.
Baby Oscar?
Oscar and Mayor.
And who?
Mayor, the baby. The Oscar, the holding bear, the baby name is Mayor. Mayor.
Beep, beep. What's the baby? I don't even know
The
that.
Oscar The
Oscar's
baby,
holding a stuffed bear.
The bear. That name is Mayer.
Mayor?
Yeah, Oscar Mayer. I think used to be
No, this is a joke, man. Oscar
Mayer.
Mayer. No,
Meyer?
Oscar Mayer is the wieners, the hot dogs.
Otter?
Someone has
you
played
sure?
a joke on you.
No. I googled that the other day. I used to be who was the sponsor? The Country Bears sponsor?
Pepsi Cola and Frito Lay.
Otter?
And then Wonder Bread.
おかしいな.
So not Oscar
Something is
Mayer.
alright. But anyways, I love Oscar. He's pretty. I mean, I love Big Al too, but
Oscar Mayer.
oh, Oscar, you gotta Google it.
There's no way that's real.
Oh, really?
There's no way.
But Oscar and Big Al.
Your favorite bear?
Bear? Big Al.
Your
but
favorite
my-
character in the show?
My favorite
Sammy.
character, no.
No?
Buff Melvin and Max.
Oh, yeah, Buff
because
Melvin and Max.
as a kid, I was fascinated. We always had to sit under them, and then the mile-long bar was at the exit, and they were there again. My parents used to just take a seat, and I would stand underneath them and watch them for like an hour.
Wow.
Because I loved them. Like, that was my thing, was Buff Melvin and Max. Yeah. So they're my favorite. I love them. And they will be there when the show returns.
That's true.
They
Happy to
live
hear.
on.
It's not, we just say Quaharini.
Things go well.
We don't say goodbye. It seems too final. We
Right,
say
right.
Quaharini.
Well, I think they're going to be saying "Let It Go Well."
Yeah.
They sing.
All right, Nana.
Hi.
Nana came up with a topic for the show that she is very passionate about.
She's been bothering me for weeks about
Mm-hmm.
this.
And I'm going to let you drive this as the head moderator for this.
We can let her
Segment.
drive. She's wearing her glasses.
She's wearing her glasses.
Asian people
They're
driving,
Dwight
be careful.
Schrute
Nana,
glasses.
please. Come on, Nana.
Eh? What did I say?
Boy, I please don't repeat it.
I mean, hey, I only can say
You
that.
thought
You
the
guys
Country
cannot say
Bears
that,
was
but-
offensive.
I didn't say nothing offensive. That's all right. It's all right. Hey, hi. How are you guys? Hi. All right. Let's
All right.
talk about it,
As
right?
also would say, let it go. Let's
All
hear it.
right. Today's topic is where is the best Disney World bathroom?
I want to talk about the worst ones too, though.
Oh, yeah, of course we will talk about worst one too, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about Disney World bathroom.
Why do you want to talk about bathrooms?
So, okay, here we go. All right, so I do have my own personal Twitter that I talk SHIT about Disney here and there. Anyways, so I create this map for Japanese people who's coming to Disney World around like holiday, like where you can go to the bathroom if you're waiting for a holiday show.
Do you warn them that none of them are bidets?
Huh?
No bidet. In
No
the,
bidet.
Oh, of
in
course. We
any
don't
of
have that
these.
in here. That's only
Yeah,
Japan.
It's very sad.
But yeah, so I create the map that where you should go for the bathroom if you're in the hub area, and that was still got popular. Like everybody was like, "Oh my god, that's very useful," and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I started to kind of go picking which bathroom I should go in each park,
Hmm.
and then bathroom. Everybody goes to the bathroom because we must go, right?
oh, is
Oh, you
that
don't go
are you
in?
talking about Impressions de France?
We must
We
go.
must go.
With
We must go.
Baudelaire?
Leave for the
must
sake of
go.
leaving and without knowing why. They always say, we must go.
So yeah, so how are we gonna talk about it? Should we talk about each parks or should we?
Sure.
I think you should go. You have things written down that are in a language I don't understand.
Yeah.
And maybe you can start and give us some points, and we can discuss the
She'll
pros
also
and
tell us
cons
the
of each.
names of each toilet.
Wow.
Melvin, Buff, and Max.
Oh, man. Max is the handicap stall because
Wow.
it's bigger.
Big Al
Max.
too. Big Al needs to go to Big Al.
Big Al bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs a
We will
wider
not get on into his keynote song.
Oh.
All right.
All right. Well, should we start with Magic Kingdom?
Sure.
All right.
It's already going so well.
This is the first time I've laughed in like a month. So
Hi.
the right
Welcome
topic.
back.
The right topic for today.
All right. So, what is the best Magic Kingdom bathroom? What is your favorite?
No, I want to know yours first.
So mine start.
Yeah. This is the park with some of the worst ones.
Yeah.
I agree.
So not my favorite, but like the go-to is next to the Chester. なんだっけ? Chichaneko? Purple Cat slash.
I'm sorry, what? Cheshire,
Cheshire
Cafe?
Cat?
So.
Cheshire Cafe, yeah.
Oh, Chester Cafe's
The
bathroom.
Cheshire Cafe.
Yeah,
bathroom.
behind
I
the
thought she was talking about Chester and Hester's, and I was
was
just
like,
gonna.
what?
No.
Then I was thinking like Disneyland because there's a store called Chester Drawers, and I was like, we don't
Yeah.
have that.
No. Cheshire
Cafe, yeah.
Cafe, yeah. Because it's kind of hidden, but it's easy access to the castle.
Cheshire, whatever you want to say.
Chishaneko, ne? Chishaneko, that's how we say in
You
Japanese.
say it either way.
But yeah, so it kind of close to the hub, and then like
Those are a little
hidden
old.
bathroom.
I mean, they're not always super clean, but I guess they're not always packed either.
That's the point, like because if you're watching the castle show like me, like so many times in a day,
Yeah.
and the quickest, because if you go to Casey's, you are pretty. They have a line, and there's a lot of people comes in, so I don't recommend that at all, because that's the smallest.
You know which ones are cleaner and right next door?
Which one?
Cosmic Rays.
Cosmic Rays.
They remodeled them. They're nice.
They are nice, but they only have few. They don't have
Is
much.
it busy? I mean, I don't.
They are busy.
So, in fairness, obviously, I don't use the women's
Hi.
restroom. So the men's rooms typically do not have a line. So you probably have a very different experience than we have at several of these.
That's why I picked the chest.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's worth pointing out that for a long time, the Cosmic Rays bathrooms had a sort of phallic symbol on the doors, and it was often photographed. They had like a metal cutout, and it was kind of phallic, and people would take their picture in front of that bathroom, and not anymore. But if you know, if you have pictures, you can find those. I don't know if Bill can find a picture.
I used to not. I don't remember that almost because I didn't go. I think I went to those once in the 90s and was just like, these are gross, and I never went back. And then they remodeled them, and the remodel was nice. They're kind of thematic. They're nice looking. I was like, this is wow, what an improvement. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think Magic Kingdom may have the worst bathrooms of any park.
And Village House is closed finally.
Yeah. Ooh, those did
Those
steady
might
business.
have been the worst.
Yeah. I would say the ones by Pirates of the Caribbean are pretty good. They you kind of slide in the
hidden,
back.
yes.
Unknown, like a lot of people don't know that they're there. So I think those are good ones. 'Cause a lot of people just go into Pecos or something like that. But
Pecos is gross.
those are pretty bad. But I think if you want a little privacy and quiet and not a line and all that kind of stuff, the ones behind Pirates of the Caribbean, they're really good.
And the Splash Mountain now. There is nobody in there.
Well, there's nobody at the Splash Mountain ones, and they are open.
It's so quiet. Nobody comes in.
Well,
Kinda
not for
creepy.
long, but
Yeah, true. For as of right now.
but they're nice though. They remodeled those a couple of years ago, and they're
It's clean.
nice and clean. Yeah.
And also Tron is nice.
Tron is nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's new.
yeah.
I'm trying to
Sometimes
think if I've been to the Tron bathrooms.
Sometimes if you hit the bottle filler, it turns off the two fountains, though. So it's fun. If you ever want to play a game with people, if people are drinking from the water fountain, go to fill your bottle, and it'll cut off the water on them.
Whoa.
I've done that to people before, and I'm like, oops.
Well, what is the worst one
We're
then?
doing great. Oh, the worst?
Village House was, and they're gone now. I think the Town Square one.
Yeah, Town Square's bad, and the ones next to Plaza, like in between there and Tomorrowland Terrace, those are pretty. Those are always wet. It's
Yeah.
always wet in there. Like,
I will say
like the
that
toilets
men's room
flush
never
so
has a
hard that it
line, though.
sprays like mist everywhere. Or
That
something.
men's room's a good size, though.
See, you guys have different opinion. I have Star Trader next to the Star Trader bathroom.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, those are
horrible.
Just go
repulsive.
back to Skyway at that point. Yeah, go back to the ones by Space if you're going to bother going over
I know.
there. Yeah.
They have a long line all the time. So.
Special shout out: the Rapunzel bathrooms are not bad.
They're beautiful.
They are.
They are the most
themed.
thematic
Yeah.
bathrooms at
Fantastic.
Disney
Yeah.
World.
Those might be the best. I mean, I don't like. They do pretty brisk business though.
Yeah.
They're pretty busy.
They are.
I want a place that's a little off the beaten path and not busy.
It's hard at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
There's one bathroom I can think of that's more thematic. The Beauty and the Beast expansion at Tokyo Disneyland, where it's the horse stables and the top of the stalls. So if you know if they're available, if the door is open, there's a horse head. So if you see the horse head, you know the stall is available.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
And they're supposed to be horse stables, and it's the funniest thing. I love it.
You know, they had at the airport this morning in Kansas City. They have it's a new airport, and they're like gender neutral bathrooms. So
Oh, yeah,
every
yeah.
stall is just a floor to ceiling door, and so all the sinks and
Yeah.
everything are common, but all the actual stalls are whoever
Yeah.
because it's enough privacy that it's not really a concern for people, right? You just go in there and there's 30 stalls and floor to ceiling door.
Yeah.
You know, and
The LAX Sky Club did that. They're still separated, but they're the floor to ceiling doors.
Wow.
But that's like the new thing. But LAX also has the 3 bathrooms. They have a men's, a women's, and then a everyone.
yeah.
Yeah. And we've been wondering if they're going to get that. We've only one Disney park has done it, and they did it as a test. Paris did it as a test at the Autopia bathrooms for a couple weeks, but they haven't. No one has a permanent one yet. No Disney park has a permanent gender neutral bathroom yet, other than obviously the companion stalls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of gender neutral bathroom, in Japan we made one in
I'm
Shinjuku.
amazed.
And then a lot of creepy people started to standing, so we had to shut it down. So now it's gone. It's Japan.
I mean, Shinjuku is exactly where I would expect that would have been located. Yeah.
Let's just pretend I've never been to Japan.
Pretend.
I don't
Nana,
know.
tell him
And
about Shinjuku.
doesn't mean anything. to me.
Shinjuku is, where all the tourists goes, and they have all
It's like the fashion capital of Tokyo
but
now.
it's not. It's Shibuya is the fashion capital, but Shinjuku is more like
A lot of
a
shopping,
lot of
though.
pubs. But it's
I was thinking of Harajuku.
Harajuku, that's too. But Shinjuku is
Different
like
thing. What does
Shin-
Juku mean?
means hotel.
Hotel. Okay.
Juku means yes.
Oh.
待って、新宿の塾
Am I thinking of Harajuku or Shinjuku is where all the shopping is?
原宿。
I have them mixed up.
So
Okay.
Harajuku. That's Harajuku. Oh my god. I have to talk myself. Anyways, we are moving on to Epcot.
Oh,
Okay.
Let's do this.
Where we've lost so many of the 1982 bathrooms now. They hung on for so long. Morocco, United Kingdom, they all held on.
has that
for as long
reopened
as
yet?
they
I've been
could.
gone a
Not
while.
yet, not yet.
Almost, but we've seen the signage now. There's a great joke on
Did
it.
they get a full remodel, or are they just
full
doing like
remodel.
a?
Full remodel.
Okay.
That's what they're doing. Epcot's going like bathroom by bathroom now.
Because I know that we have discussed this kind of at length, at least in terms of bathroom discussion, the imagination bathrooms. Because they're out of the way. You got to really want to go back there and know that they're there to go those ones behind the imagination.
When they remodel those, like people are gonna cry, myself included.
Yeah, you need to protect the bathroom
Yeah.
too.
How am I gonna protect the bathroom? I'm gonna tell Disney they can't remodel a bathroom? Like, I can fight for the country bears. I kind of look stupid if I'm like, no, let the bathroom fall apart.
Epcot is strange though, because they're like the American Adventure has nice remodeled
That's my
bathrooms, but they're very
favorite.
busy.
Ones, yeah.
That's my favorite.
But like a World Showplace has massive bathrooms. I don't know how many people they thought were going to be going to World Showplace, but they're like probably the biggest bathrooms at Disney World.
Because it was built as event space. So the
Yeah.
idea was if it's a convention, you go on break, you can have 1,500 people going to the bathroom at once. Right? That's why they built them like that.
So when you have access to that space, those bathrooms are usually not busy and they are massive, huge.
True.
I like that. But the bathrooms in the American Adventure are very nice.
Yeah, that's
the
my
decor
favorite.
is tasteful. They're usually pretty clean.
Nice AC.
Oh yeah, the AC
Nice
is good.
AC.
They sure beat the old American Adventure bathrooms,
That's
which
true.
were very small.
Yeah. Do those still exist? I feel like I went to those recently, but they've been converted into like a companion type of
Yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Right. There's a few, two or
There
three.
was a period where both existed where they pretended it didn't exist because they really didn't want you to go to the tiny one, but I was still going. I haven't been over there in ages now, though.
We always used to joke that the bathrooms in the beer garden had the like sturdiest plumbing. It was needed due to the buffet.
Those are magical, though, because, again, those are 1982.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's like stepping back in time in there.
They're
love
just weird
those.
enough. Like the use of space in that bathroom is really, at least in the men's room, is really strange. Like there's a lot of dead space, and then they like have some urinals down there eventually, and I don't know. It looks like they could have put in like twice as many facilities and didn't. So
It sounds silly, right? I know we're like, the original bathrooms, but they're every day at Disney World we lose a little bit more of the nostalgia, right? Then there's very few places you can go where it's like the bathrooms are kind of like they get forgotten. So they're these places you could go and it's like Disney forgot about it, so they just haven't touched them in 40 years. So those Epcot bathrooms, it's like still Epcot Center in here,
International
not anywhere
Gateway,
else. And the Figment the imagination bathrooms
Oh, yeah.
are number one, where it's the original music loop and the stalls have that blue and white like swirl going on, and they're very 80s, but also they remind me so much of the interior of the building, what it used to look like, the color scheme. So
can I just stop and mention how stupid this feels that we're having an episode talking about bathrooms?
You know how many people are going to watch this and agree with this
I
topic,
know.
though?
It's just quirky enough. No one else is dumb enough to do this.
I
We're
think
the
other
only
people
ones.
have done it. I think this was like a fun, weird idea 10 years ago. And I think as the Disney fandom has grown, I think there's probably people in the comments will probably list 10 other websites or podcasts that have done this topic. And we've done it before too.
We had a whole March Madness on.
There was a the old podcast. We definitely talked about this. There was a March Madness. It was the WIGS exclusive one.
Yeah.
Was bathrooms, which Imagination won, of course. But yeah, this is not the first time this has been discussed. But Nana really wanted this topic, and we should do it again.
Odyssey bathrooms are really weird.
But
But they're weird.
They got
When I
remodeled, but
leave, I
still
never know
love
which way to
them.
go because you can kind of get confused. You're like in a maze.
And they're hexagon
Yeah.
themed.
Like,
All right.
I mean, the only thing I have issue with this bathroom situation, why Japan don't have Japanese style bathroom over there? Japan
Because
has
it would be the most
bathroom in
popular
back.
attraction at Epcot.
Yeah.
The bidet,
It would
the
have
Japanese
a line.
bidet.
Honestly, it would. There'd be a TikTok about it, and then it would turn into mass hysteria.
That is true.
Or we'd have an article every week about somebody drinking out of the bidet in the Epcot bathrooms.
That could be possible. All right, let's talk about worst bathroom in Epcot. Mine is Remy's bathroom because that's a bathroom. It's clean,
Small.
but then it's small, and a lot of
I've waited for the men's room several times.
parents bring their kids and
Yeah.
changing their diapers, so it's like. It's
Also,
nuts.
the water pressure in that one is extreme. So the floor is wet all the time because, like, the water pressure from the sink washing your hands is bad. And it reminds me of a newer version of the ones that are just east of Creation Shop. The ones kind of in between there and Test Track. That those are awful. Those are always like wet and gross and overflowing with people.
You know which ones we didn't mention, which I love?
Which one?
Norway.
They're nice.
I love them. They're thematic. They're clean.
It's
they're
clean,
big.
yeah. It's like a kind of
That was a
Rapunzel.
nice expansion. So for those that don't know, all of the Norway bathrooms used to be on the side with the men's room. Where the men's room is now is the full extent of the Norway bathrooms. Also, fun fact, those bathrooms are older than the pavilion. They were there in 1982. They were themed to Denmark, and then the pavilion was built around them. But then when Frozen was built, they built the Summerhus across the way. And so the ladies' restrooms are brand new. They're on that side, and they remodeled the other side to just be an expanded men's room.
Also, inside the original Mexico Pavilion, as far as I know, the only bathroom is in the restaurant. So if you're at La Cava del Tequila, you have to kind of just walk past the hostess stand in the restaurant and hope. I don't think they'd stop you, but it feels awkward to do that and then go into that bathroom, which has weird tile, as I recall. Like it's interesting
cool,
tile.
Yeah. But La Hacienda and then those are the only restrooms in Mexico,
Yeah.
Norway's great. What are we going around? The Germany, we talked about Germany because they're the beer garden one. Well, there's the outside Germany ones. Those are a little small. Those can be
They're not
rough.
bad. They're not
yeah,
bad.
there's
all right.
nothing wrong with them.
They have a nice railroad outside, so if
Yeah.
you're waiting for someone, you have something to look at.
Yeah. Italy doesn't have public bathrooms.
Oh, Morocco.
Those are nice now that they remodeled.
clean, yeah.
Those would have been, like when we were talking worst, but pre-remodel, I would have put those. They were always gross. Always just
You know my Moroccan bathroom story. Some of the wigs know it. I used to meet, a long time ago, I used to meet a friend of mine after work, and we'd just go like, hey, let's have a couple beers at Epcot before, and watch a show or whatever. And he has their son, his wife was working, and she's like, oh, take our son. So their son is walking with us. He's very young. And I just make an offhand remark. Like, he's like, hey, hold on, I got to go to the bathroom. I go, hey, by the way, Dave, they remodeled the Morocco bathrooms to be more authentic, so now they give you just a shovel. Like, just like some stupid, it's just a stupid remark I made 15 years ago, right? And then the next year, like around, or later that year, around Thanksgiving, his wife posts on Facebook, she's like, I don't know where this came from. And it's a picture of their son had been writing, they wrote things at school, and they're hanging up on the wall. And he had written like, he's like second grade. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my house. I am thankful for not having Moroccan bathrooms. So then I have to go on Facebook and be like, hey, Shelly, my bad. That was my fault. He overheard me. Yeah, I didn't think he's paying attention to what we're doing.
Who would have thought the bathroom episode would be the least culturally sensitive episode of the show we've done?
It was a terrible joke. It was dumb. And
sorry, no one will know I was part of this because they can never hear me, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Great. All right, well, let's move on to Hollywood Studios bathroom, MGM bathroom.
I love them all because all the old ones have vestiges of when they had powdered soap.
Yeah.
The powdered
Powdered
soap
soap.
dispensers.
Oh, we had a long discussion about powdered soap. Where was
What
that?
is powdered soap?
That was by Norway. No, we
Epcot
had
had them too, yeah.
Yeah.
But now they've all been remodeled. So.
Specifically though, it was the ones in Akershus. Akershus still
They're
has
still
the
there,
things
that's
with
right.
the powdered
I
soap.
forgot. So I had never been to Akershus before it reopened. My first time, and I go in that bathroom and I lost it because it is very much original. It has a weird vaulted ceiling.
Yeah.
And it had all these vestiges of the things that used to be in Disney World bathrooms, including at Epcot, I think it's now the last of the powdered soap dispensers. It's empty, but it's there on the wall.
Yeah.
What is powdered soap?
In the 80s at Disney World, that's what you got was powdered soap. It was
like a
powder,
powder
and you
and
wet
you
your
get wet
hands and
and
it
it turns
turns into soap.
Wow.
It worked.
She's like, I'm from Japan. Our soap immediately turns into Minnie Mouse.
Oh, yeah.
Only
It's
if
a
you put
Minnie
your
Mouse
hand
now.
correct on it and then
Yeah, it's a Minnie Mouse
hold,
now, so.
and then yeah.
Hollywood Studios, though, the one that immediately strikes me is on Sunset, in between the shops in that little alley. I forget what it is. And it has that tile where you see it and you're immediately like,
The purple and teal.
Yeah.
I love it.
That tile.
If they touch those, I'm gonna lose it. I love them.
Then you should
Yeah.
protect that too.
Because the other one has it too. The tower bathrooms have
Yeah.
that too. That
Oh,
tile.
hi.
Yeah. Tower bathrooms are always too busy, though. I love
They
what
are.
they look like inside, but they're too busy.
Nicest-
Rock and Roller Coaster, same thing. They're just too busy. They're not bad. They're just busy.
I don't
The
know that
nicest ones have to be the Brown Derby, right? I mean,
They got rid of my sink though.
tell your sink story.
one. Wow.
In the men's restroom, all the way at the end. If you go, let's say it's the left end of the bathroom. By the last stall, there was one sink that then there was the divider and then more sinks. The one on the end was a different style and it had handles. You could hot and cold. It wasn't a sensor. They finally got to it like a year and a half ago. They finally replaced it, and it makes me very sad. Someone caught it. Someone was like, "Hey, there it is," and they got it. And it makes me sad. Those are great bathrooms, though. The Galaxy's Edge bathrooms, they're busy, but
I don't like them. I hate them.
Okay. All right.
Why?
The music loop in there, the radio loop is phenomenal.
They have those like Airblade
Yeah.
hand dryers,
I don't like that thing.
but they've like distressed them and painted over them. Like, it's not an Airblade. It's a. Who knows if they came up with a stupid
But
fake
people
Star
didn't
Wars
know
name
they
for
were
it.
a thing. They had to
they
label
put the
them.
sign. I
Right.
remember.
Yeah.
So like that whole thing, I just felt they seem very
The dirty mirror. I like the dirty mirror.
Yeah, but
Me too.
I think one area where I don't want the authenticity of dirt and grime is in a bathroom. Right. So that's a thing for me. Also, there's some weird.
The toilets are clean, though. It's just the rest.
Okay.
Have you seen the Art of Galaxy's Edge book? Because they show what the bathrooms were supposed to have more theming, and they cut it away because they thought it was too much.
I mean, people couldn't even handle them calling them refreshers.
They had to put restrooms
When
up.
Galaxy's
They were
Edge
originally
first
not going to put
open, they
signs.
would say like, "Oh, the
Yeah.
refresher is over there," and then now they don't. Now they've given up pretty much.
They
on-
weren't even supposed to have signs. The signs were a late addition. They were literally not going to label the bathrooms, but operations, I think, won that fight.
There's also like a weird bathroom that is shared between Brown Dirt, or no, but between Sci-Fi
Yeah,
and
Baseline.
ABC
Oh, and yeah, Baseline and ABC. Yeah,
and Baseline and ABC.
The
like,
corner one.
Yeah,
Corner one.
there's like a weird.
That's my favorite.
because Disney World used to not put restrooms in table service restaurants. Brown Derby
Right.
was like the first time they did that,
Right.
but it was shared at Brown Derby too with Soundstage Restaurant. So even then, it really wasn't theirs either. It's a weird thing because think about Magic Kingdom, right? Think about those older table service. they don't have interior bathrooms, right? A lot of Liberty Tree is the weird small one.
Yeah. A quick shout out, just to go back to Epcot, the old electric umbrella restrooms, right? There was something special about that hall, the weird, quiet, bit busy
Wall
hallway.
carpet.
So I think we have a bench from that hallway out
We
here.
do
in our
have the
studio.
bench from that hallway. I have a piece of electric umbrella. Yeah.
I'm not saying those were great bathrooms, but they were noteworthy.
They were white,
worthy of mention.
The white with the colorful tile in between, and then the music to poop by, as we called it, the interventions loop, which, I still think is the greatest background music loop in theme park history.
If you're gonna poop, you want to hear some good music. Like,
Oh my God. I didn't know that was a poop song.
I called it music to poop.
Oh, I've always heard. No, I've going back to the old Disney Podcast Network days. They called it the pooping song.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, that
I
song
thought I came up
specifically
with
is
that.
the
No.
pooping song.
But I didn't call it the pooping song. I just called it music to poop by.
Back to Hollywood Studios, though. Nana, your favorite?
So Grand Avenue and the Grand Avenue, but a sci-fi, the corner looks like a popo department, but it's not, but it's bathroom,
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
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 What? The
which-
corner. It's like
Corner of what?
the corner between the corners, Star Tours, sci-fi, and
Royal Flush? Gonzo's
Oh, you
Royal
like the
Flush?
bad side, the new side?
yeah, but
They're so
next to
small.
it is small, but I don't know why I like the building itself.
Isn't it called Royal Flush?
No, she's talking about the ones they built on the back of the other restrooms that are not connected to it.
Oh, yeah, before the
The
tunnel.
weird Grand Avenue
Yeah.
bathroom expansion.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like some kind of. I thought
It
it was
took
like police
forever?
department for a minute, right? Because I don't
No,
know
it's
why.
like it's
but it's
just
a bathroom. But I love it.
It's like waterworks or something. It's not even. I don't think it has.
I
a
love
name
the
on
brick
building,
and
but
everything. Like
Yeah.
it's total. Doesn't match.
Royal Flush is great.
Where's the Royal?
The Royal Flush, the Gonzos, the
Right
ones
by
at Pizza Rizzo.
Pizza Rizzo. in
Oh,
between.
yeah.
They're giant. They're clean.
Yeah.
The music loop is great.
I went there today. Yeah.
A plus.
But yeah, Galaxy's Edge. The reason I like to go to Galaxy's Edge is the radio loop,
Yeah.
which has DJ Rex. There's the ad for the Halcyon. There's a lot, and that was years before they didn't even announce the Halcyon yet, and it was already in that loop. And they have the ad for Gaia's going to be on the ship, and there's a lot of fun stuff in that bathroom loop. in
Totally
Galaxy's
forgot.
Edge.
My most favorite bathroom in the Hollywood studio is outside Guestlation next to it. That's my favorite
Yeah.
because nobody goes there. It used to be
the
like
Skyliner
security,
ones
but-
are better now.
Ah,
though. They're bigger.
Hold on, horses. I forgot about that. My most favorite one is Riviera Station bathroom.
Yeah, the one no one knows about.
Yes.
There's one in Riviera Station?
Yeah. It smells like
They had
Riviera.
You have
Build
time to
rest-
get off of your gondola and then go and then run back and get
It's
on it
on
before
the walk through to exit.
on the left
pass
side.
it.
There's two of them.
I've never noticed it.
They're beautiful,
It's-
and no one uses them.
It's perfect. Nice.
Because sometimes you
AC.
get to Riviera, like if you want to go, sometimes it's locked. They're like, even during the day, they're like, you need your room key to unlock some of the doors to go like to the lobby. You can go to like Bar Riva and you can go to some of that, but every now and then that like stairwell when you come in is just locked.
So you need to.
There's
go
always a DVC person who's more than happy to open that door for you, though.
Yeah.
You need to go Riviera bathroom. Like outside the Skyliner station, it's nice smell and nice AC. Everything is clean. Oh my gosh.
All the Skyliner bathrooms are nice.
But yeah, that's my favorite.
They're all good.
And what is the worst bathroom in the Hollywood studio?
Oh man,
Tower probably just so busy. It's so small.
Lunch bay.
that one right there
Lunch
near the
bay,
entrance
yeah.
by Crossroads the World to the right as you enter the park.
That's absolutely. I've seen actual poop on the walls in
Hold on.
there. Literally, no.
What?
So like someone blew up the weird corner. There's a weird.
Can't do this episode.
There's a weird corner stall where the door is angled. That's kind of the handicap stall. And I walk down there and I go, oh my God, everywhere. And it's a super long stall. So it's like, well, how did they get to the door with it? It's everywhere. There's toilet paper everywhere. The seat liners are everywhere. It's blown up has never been a more appropriate term for a bathroom than this.
Somewhere.
I just go, oh my God, and I go into the stall next to it. I see the black shoes. I see it's a Disney World custodial cast member. I see him walk. I see him get to the door and go, he's on the clock. He goes, holy out loud with a name tag on.
quite literally.
Holy And I go, I'd be upset, but this guy's got to clean this. He could drop the F-bomb right now, and I'd be okay with it. This is not fair to this man. This man deserves a raise because someone destroyed this bathroom. They need to put a construction wall up outside this door immediately. This man does not have enough materials to take care of this. You better get the ShamWow guy.
Go get Handy Manny from Hollywood and Vine.
Handy Manny, the ShamWow guy. You need the
What is it? I Can Fix a Guy? Ricky Ralph?
Yeah. All of them need to come immediately. Get on the radio.
Get Sorcerer Mickey in here. We need a miracle.
We need 65 autonomous
Throwing
brooms.
buckets. Oh God! Somewhere my
And
brother.
the flush would have been like that where everyone got taken down in the
My brother
swirl.
is laughing his ass off that I'm stuck on this episode talking about poop and bathrooms.
Fantasmic, this
cry.
isn't like Mickey's dance move. It's him telling more custodians to come. Dun, 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 dun.
Da-da-da.
Fantastic bathrooms.
Oh,
Hit or miss, right?
yeah.
I mean, if you need to go while you're back there, they're fine.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got well, which
No,
which bathroom
I've
was it?
never seen anything like that in my life, and the guy just didn't know what to do. I think he went to get reinforcements and came back. When I left, there was like 3 of them, and
my God.
they were just staring at it. And I was like, you guys don't get paid enough for this, and they just giggled.
I'm just reminded of the movie Dogma. Is yours is a Kevin Smith
Yeah.
movie where they had the poop demon rise up.
What came to my
He kind of looks like Oogie Boogie. Just yeah. Anyway,
Have you ever seen the Dumb and Dumber prequel?
no.
There's a scene where Bob Saget, was it Harry and Lloyd? I think Harry has a candy bar incident in the bathroom, so it looks like someone wiped poop all over the walls, but it's chocolate. But Bob Saget plays the girl's father, and he just comes in and starts screaming for like 5 minutes. And it's pretty much what the bathroom. If you haven't seen that clip from that movie, look up like the bathroom scene, chocolate bar bathroom scene from Dumb and Dumberer, I think is the name of the prequel, with Bob Saget. And that's a pretty accurate representation of what that stall looked like at Hollywood
Oh
Studios.
my god. Oh my god. I need air. Oh my god. I laughed too hard. God.
All right.
All right. We'll move on to the Animal Kingdom now.
God.
Most wild park in the Disney World.
Where'd you move Animal Kingdom?
Yeah.
Oh, we're already on to the 4th park?
Yeah.
Tiffin's.
I mean, I like a lot of the Tiffin's is great. Oh, they're
Tiffin's,
beautiful.
yeah.
They're small, but they're beautiful. I love the Pandora, not the Satuli.
Yeah.
The other Pandora
yeah,
bathrooms,
sorry, yeah.
the loop, the music loop, the
What about the
tile
queue
work.
bathrooms? So people don't pee on people.
I haven't been
in
in
Flight of
those.
Passage.
I haven't actually
Yes.
been in them. But those first ones, there's a backstory to the bathroom.
Of course there is.
Hi.
You can go read it. Next time you're in Pandora,
Right.
go to those bathrooms at the entrance there on the left. Go all the way to the left side off to the left side of the building, there's a big sign. Go read it. They were like decontamination stalls for the RDA.
And you
And the
flush.
whole backstory is on there. No, the story is
Seymour
they've been converted. The backstory. Rise to the challenge.
Move around a little bit.
You've
You come
all
in here?
got them.
You can come in here and poop.
And yeah. But go read the sign on the left. They have been turned into restrooms because obviously the Pandora Conservation Initiative and Alpha Centauri Expeditions have transformed the area into a tourist destination. But the original purpose of the bathrooms is you can go read it on the sign. They're great. I love them.
Okay.
Also, not as great since the music loop changed, but Chester and Hester's Dinorama, the ones attached to the store. Oh man, I used to go. I love those just because of the music loop was so ridiculous. All those dinosaur songs, and now it's like they play like All Star, and a couple of the old songs are still in there, but
And just to quickly acknowledge, there are some that are kind of out of the way that people don't go to. The ones kind of next to the theater for Finding Nemo, or what it's called, Big Blue and Beyond.
If you go between shows, they're great.
Yeah, they go between shows. Nobody even knows they're there.
Also a great
in the
music
back.
group
Yeah.
because it's all the instrumentals of the Nemo musical songs.
Yeah.
Including the ones they cut when they ruined the show.
The Big Blue bathrooms. Those are good ones. What about you?
They are big and blue when they put the stuff in the toilets.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
cleaning stuff.
mine is a restaurant Sinosaur. Is that a restaurant Sinosaur?
I'm sorry, what?
How to pronounce the restaurant?
Restaurantosaurus?
そう。Restaurantosaurus.
Those are fine, okay.
I think they not renew it, but I think they got cleaner now. Used to be smaller.
Someone just cleaned them.
But it used to be like a mess, and I didn't like to go. But I just went there last week and was like, oh, it's clean now. I like
what
it.
bathrooms I love? Mr. Matumbo's.
Who is Mr. Utumbo?
It's a bathroom with a sign on the exterior that will explain this to you.
Oh my God.
Mr. Matumbo.
Is he related to Mr. Kamal?
No, he's not. Mr. Matumbo.
I'm sorry. All I'm thinking about is Book of Mormon. Hello, my name is Elder Matumbo.
Yeah, but Mr. Matumbo has the fishing. He has the fishing hut, and it's the bathrooms outside of Festival of the Lion King. They're the Mr. Matumbo bathrooms. Those were built when they moved Festival of the Lion King, so they're relatively new. They're clean. They're pretty.
Yes.
They're good.
Are the old Festival of Lion King bathrooms the ones that are in Pandora now, or did they bulldoze everything when they built Pandora? Did they
those in the same spot? Those might be in the same spot. I've never thought about it.
Yeah.
The Satuli ones might be the Festival of the Lion King ones. Where Guitar Dan used to play outside of them. And then there'd be the trails to all the meet and
Guitar
greets
Dan.
would be there too. That might be. I got to look into that. I don't know. I've never thought about it, that they might have built that on the same spot.
So what-
Rainforest bathrooms aren't bad.
I love the Rainforest Cafe bathrooms.
Yeah.
So what was the
bad.
backstory of it?
Mr. Matumbo's fishing, like it has the sign for like
Yeah.
what he does, his business.
What
is
he
on
does?
It's on the side. He runs a fishing. He's a fisherman.
I didn't know he can catch a fish over there, but okay.
And does it say like, sorry, I'm out fishing?
There's like a little
Please
chain
help
and a
yourself to my
sign that
bathroom?
says like closed or something. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He doesn't operate the bathroom. There's stairs on the back of the building. That's a relatively new building. It's heavily themed. Like the idea is that his fishing thing is on the roof. The idea is that he's fishing off the roof of the building.
Oh.
There's a
okay.
staircase that goes to the roof that has a chain. Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
So Restaurantosaurus is your favorite?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
What's the worst?
Worst? Oh, I was gonna say dinosaur bathroom. No, the Chester Hester bathroom because that's where all the mothers taking their kids to change in it. Just
I
like
could
have a
see
line.
that.
So that's why I was gonna say that one, but
What are why am I blanking on the ones by Everest? There are ones by Everest, right? Oh yeah, those are always too crowded. The Everest the Asia Village, the Anandapur Village.
Oh, yeah,
bathrooms.
yeah.
Those are
Took me a
bad.
minute.
Yeah.
what is yours?
Also, the
Tiffin's is the
Collie-
best.
Collie bathrooms are bad because people change from the ride.
True.
I think Tiffin's are the best,
Yeah.
personally. We're not counting, like, obviously, if you're lucky enough to get into any of the Club 33s to have nice, clean bathrooms.
Oh yeah.
And the entrance bathrooms are pretty bad.
Oh, bad? Which ones you talking about?
The ones
outside?
The ones across from where
Better gasolation.
the ones across from Rebecca's area, right?
The ones
as you're
that
leaving
are
the park
in
on
the
the
park.
right. Yeah.
Those
Next
are
to the
bad.
locker.
I like the ones before the entrance, though.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
As long as it's not opening time,
Yeah.
I really like those. You know what? We missed the best bathrooms in this
Uh-huh.
park, though.
Oh, which one?
Planet Watch. The ones that have the animal facts,
I mean,
the animal bathroom facts.
But every time I've been to that, it's been like I've been kind of in a hurry because I've been waiting
Yeah.
for or riding a train for a long time. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, where's the bathroom? I don't get time to enjoy it. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I've been looking for you, bathroom.
I don't think I can hold until to go to.
Show me
Planet.
yawning.
That's,
There you go. They cut-
That's far.
Jake cut to me yawning.
Well, I guess we cover all the park now, and even
Oh, but the parks are just a small fraction of this property.
All the new Disney Springs ones are good.
Disney Springs bathroom. Okay, let's talk about that. Next to the World of Disney, it sucked. They always have a line.
Those have always been the worst ones in the history of Disney
even though
World.
it was
They didn't
downtown
even really
Disney,
get fixed. Yeah.
Still
Do
have a
not
long
never
line.
use the World of Disney bathroom.
You need to have a virtual queue to go to that bathroom.
Or no, you shouldn't go because they're gross after the fact. So
Because
don't even bother.
I haven't touched the bathroom
Yeah.
for like at least 9 years for
You
sure.
know, they're old, but the ones on the marketplace side, the ones down by Trendy and all that, and Once Upon a Toy, those are super old, but often I find people don't know they're there.
Splitsville has good bathrooms.
Spirit.
Boathouse. They're very pretty.
Yeah, they're nice.
Rainforest Cafe.
Rainforest Cafe.
Beautiful bathrooms, and you're
Yes.
going to need them.
Yeah.
I love Rainforest Cafe. I make jokes because people do. I think people are mean to Rainforest Cafe. I don't think their food is as bad as people say. It depends what location you go to. But
Yeah, I think rainforest is okay to me. No?
people, there are bad ones.
I
There
mean,
are
it's
ones where you get
Americans.
like uncooked mozzarella sticks and stuff like that. I mean,
Or T-Rex, where you just have drunk people
Wow.
getting drunk and starting fights.
leaving their kids at the bar. T-Rex is a high incident
I
rate.
actually do love T-Rex. Like it's
Yeah.
it's like such a touristy
It's
restaurant,
kitschy
but their
and
bar is
touristy.
pretty sweet and have good deals.
Same with Lava Lounge at Rainforest.
Yeah, Lava Lounge you sit down sometimes there and it's really windy though. It's a little bit of
You can go inside and sit on an animal butt.
sit on the animal
like
butt.
that.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah,
the-
yeah. That's
the
my favorite
Chairs
too, yeah.
that were made famous by Jungle Gyms.
Yeah, Jungle Gyms had those.
R.I.P. Jungle Gyms, which was at the Crossroads when I was a kid.
Look it up.
It was great.
They then became the Knife eventually,
Yeah,
and then obviously the whole
they
Crossroads has
bulldozed
been
the whole
bulldozed
thing.
now.
But back when I was a kid, we used to have a day where we didn't go to the parks, and that used to be our like 192 and other things day. We'd go shopping, go to the like local Disney outlet stores and stuff, and then
Yeah.
we'd always end by going to Jungle Gyms.
There were a few themed restaurants really nearby.
Yeah.
There was Jungle Gyms. Also, in the Buena Vista Palace, there was the Laughing Kookaburra.
Yeah,
it was
I've
a
heard people
really cool
talk
place. You
about
came
it,
in,
but I
there's
never
like this
went.
like kind of waterfall coming. They've changed it now. Well, I don't even know if it still exists. They've changed it to a sports bar called the Kook, and I haven't been to the Buena Vista Palace since.
Oh, it's cute that it's a
then.
reference.
Yeah, so the Laughing Kookaburra was great.
I missed it.
At least I have fond memories of it back in the day. Right?
Yeah.
It was kind of like people call it the Outback Restaurant, but then people got to confuse the Outback Steakhouse, and so it was like that was.
I miss when 192 was clean and all the stuff was kind of kitschy and fun. And
So I don't ever remember 192 being super like nice or cool things to
Yeah.
do there. Congo River Golf at one point, although the Pirates Cove that was in the Crossroads was better.
Pirates Cove.
Right, you had all that stuff. The Crossroads, for people who don't know, used to be. It was developed by Disney, I think, and it had the Goodings grocery store there was carpeted. It was nice, you know. It was you paid a premium to get stuff there, but it's sad that all that stuff is gone. And they had a lot of business from people that stayed in the area, and even all the people that were in the college program at Vista Way nearby. You know, by the way, going through my brother's effects, I found if anyone was in the Disney college program in 1991, I have, I don't know, 30 pages, double-sided, of everyone's contact information that was in the Disney college program in 1991. That was a thing, right? But I know the college program kids would go there a lot, you know, to Jungle Gyms and some of those places. There was always that ale house still, you know, they'd go there on, they'd have like cast member discounts, and you'd see like 4 college program people splitting the Zinger Mountain Melt, and everybody getting full for $5 a piece.
The loss of Crossroads, you know, I think this is going to sound weird. I think as much as the loss of Epcot Center and maybe like the original Disney Village, I think it's one of those things that was such an important part of the culture around Disney World. It's a real big loss historically for Disney World because the Crossroads was such an important part of it, part of the trip for like you said, for tourists, but also for cast members, right? I mean, I remember people coming in cast costumes all the time at Jungle Gyms, and there was certainly there was a discount night, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And for people that don't know, you know, they got sold off or whatever. But the Crossroads property was basically I think the largest eminent domain case in the state of Florida for I-4 expansion. I think they paid hundreds of millions of dollars for it. And then they bulldozed everything and kicked out all the tenants.
Yeah.
Some of them were compensated, some of them were not, depending on what the terms of their lease were, right? They bulldozed this whole thing, and then like I don't know, a year ago, they're like, never mind, we're not
Doing
doing
a
it.
different ramp now, yeah.
Yeah, so they may still use that property for some public good, but the good that was utilized as the impetus behind this is not
Lost
happening.
it for nothing. Yeah.
So we lost the Crossroads right now for what appears to be nothing. No,
Yeah.
no.
Like,
good
look, I
reason.
know it was by the end. It was like a Buffalo Wild Wings and a McDonald's and a mini golf, and that seems relatively non-special, right? But if you know the history of that space and that the Disney connection, right? Because it was developed by Disney.
Yeah.
You know, it has a very important role in the 50-year history of Disney World, and it just was erased from the face of the earth completely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. I miss it. And like I said, hey, hate all you want on a place like Buffalo Wild Wings, but people who come here on vacation, I see on social media stuff, people all the time, where's a good place to watch the game?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of them,
Do not go to
particularly on
Rick's.
property. What?
Don't go to Rick's. The food's gross.
No, there are no good sports bars at Walt Disney World, right? There are.
Yeah.
I would say CityWorks at least will have the games on.
Excuse me, sir.
yeah.
Have you been to Martha's Vineyard?
Oh my god.
I still want to do that. One day we're doing like a pop-up mob.
All gonna rope
we're gonna
drop
all
Martha's
we're gonna rope
Vineyard.
drop Martha's Vineyard with like 50 people and see what happens.
For those that don't know, they've called Martha's Vineyard at times Martha's Graveyard because no one goes there.
It is not far from a very good bathroom, though, which is the ones by Cruise Cup and
All those
Yachtsman.
bathrooms are great.
Yeah, those are great. Fantastic. The top bathroom, for my money in that area, the boardwalk area, is at the boardwalk. Until recently, it's near the lobby. If you walk in the lobby, you turn right, and you kind of go over.
remodeled.
You go over like a bridge. You're over a bridge where the stairs go down, and it's on the right there. And until recently, probably COVID, they had real towels. Like you would dry your hands with like a real like washcloth and throw them in
Contemporary,
a
those bottom
basket.
floor contemporary ones used to have them too.
Yeah.
They don't
And
have
then
that.
it was contemporary branded tissues up until not long ago.
Yeah.
And then I think the contemporary napkins finally died with COVID. I
That's
think that
sad.
was the end.
Shout out Monorail Loop to the Grand Floridian bathrooms. It's on the monorail level. That one.
You mean the Citricos ones?
Is it for Citricos?
Yes,
I don't
it
know.
is.
Victoria
It's
Albert.
Citricos.
Yeah, those are great.
On the monorail level,
Yeah.
that bathroom has saved my stuff.
I mean, the
on
Grand Floridian
two
Cafe
different
was there,
occasions.
too.
Yeah.
Two different.
No, but I didn't have time to go downstairs.
Okay.
That was a
That's bad. You didn't have time to take the monkey staircase?
no.
Wow.
Does everyone know about the monkey staircase?
Which one?
The staircase with the art of the monkey.
Oh.
That's right by the Citricos.
Is it the monkey from the Temple of the what was
No.
the video game you were talking?
Legends of the Hidden
Legends
Temple?
of the Hidden Temple.
The Shrine of the Silver Monkey? No. There is a staircase, a very tiny staircase, very narrow, next to Citricos
is.
that goes downstairs. If you go down there, there are some weird pieces of art of like a pet rabbit and a pet monkey.
There's a bunny
on
rabbit.
a chair. Yeah.
I know the bunny rabbit, and there's a very large framed piece of lace.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the monkey's there too.
That's interesting.
If they remodel that lobby and that art goes away, someone at Disney has to deliver me the monkey. I must have the monkey, please. Thank you. I didn't get the monkey lamp I wanted from the yacht club, but I would like the monkey art from the Grand Floridian, please. That and one of those weird Ferris wheel things.
I know the first
Please.
thing. Yeah.
Thank you. Also, a horse from 1900 Park Fair. I have a long list of things I would like.
These all seem like very simple requests
The
to accommodate.
monkey art's easy. The other two are a little more ridiculous, but I would like them.
Interesting.
So yeah, best monorail loop bathroom. What do you think? Is it Grand Floridian?
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that contemporary one on the outside of Steakhouse 71. I've been there a lot.
Can I let you in on the secret of the contemporary bathroom?
People get mad when they can't hear you. You have to.
This is ASMR. I'm going to tell you about the best bathrooms to go to at the contemporary.
California Grill.
No. The convention center. So go up the escalator from the bottom floor, go up to the California Grill entry level, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Just keep going straight down. Till
Yeah.
you get to the end of the hall. If there's no convention,
No
there
one would
will
ever
be
find
no
you.
one there except Disney cast members. Clearly, people that work at the Contemporary know no one's checking, go use that, and they're always surprised to see you there. But they're always empty. They have weird art in them. They haven't been touched since the 90s. They're kooky and fun and empty and clean and great.
What about you, Nana?
Totally forgot about that. Mine from Monroe Group. I don't have any, to be honest.
None at the Poly.
The
because
worst,
those-
Captain Cook's. The
Yeah,
worst.
God, they're always just a mess.
Look, that's a very popular spot too.
Yeah, it's in between a
also
bunch
at the
of
top of the
diners.
stairs, the
Those
like
are
by
bad.
Ohana,
Yeah,
those
they're
are
too
bad.
small, way too small.
Yeah.
I don't like Polyvaster And
Yeah.
Grand Floridian, I kind of understand. It's nice and clean and quiet. I like it, but not my favorite.
I've heard some bathroom stories from the Polynesian, but they were in the rooms when you and Jason stayed there.
when it blew up.
Who did that? You?
He's already told us
No.
about one person
So-
blowing up a toilet. Now we have a different
So the
type.
Polynesian, because of its age, has always had there's into the last remodel, there were notorious pipe issues. So they were closed for several months, right, for COVID.
Oh.
So we were there at the reopening. We reopened the Polynesian. We had a room there, and so I'm in the shower. Jason's using. They're separated because it's the DVC rooms.
Oh.
They're separated. So there's a bathroom with the toilet, and then there's a room with the shower.
Okay.
I'm in the shower. Jason's using the bathroom. So I don't know what happens. I'm in the shower, but the shower starts to rise. The water, and I'm like, what's happening?
How
And
has the water?
it starts
Jason?
coming up, and then 4 seconds later, it's like Tower Terror just goes whoosh, like all the water in the shower just goes whoosh, like suddenly. Not like a drain opened, like the floor fell out, like you're in a drop slide at a water park. The water just vanished. And I'm like, what happened? I come out, finally, a few minutes later, I come out of the shower. Jason's standing there laughing. I go, what's going on? He's like, the toilet exploded. And go in the other room, there's water everywhere in the bathroom. So we go to the lobby. We just tell them at breakfast, before we go to breakfast, we're like, hey, like this happened in the room. She's like, we're so sorry, blah, blah, blah. Look. Disney World at that reopening period for a million reasons was magical. Cast members were going above and beyond. The manager, she was tremendous. We weren't looking
Toilets
for
are
money.
blowing up. Yeah.
We didn't go asking for money or anything. We just wanted it cleaned up. That was it. She gave us all the points back for the stay and everything. And I don't think it's because they knew who we were. I think they were just being sweet. And it was very, very kind. But what was amazing was we're leaving. We go back to room after breakfast at Kona, and we're leaving. We're checking out. I'm moving to another hotel because I spent a year in hotels. But so we see a golf cart pull up outside the room. We're on the bottom floor. So outside the room, there's like a grass patch, and then the beach and the bungalows. A golf cart pulls up with 4 guys. Another golf cart pulls up with 4 guys. They have shovels. They just start digging. They just start pulling up the ground outside the room, and I go, this has gotta be related. Then, when we're getting ready to leave, water starts coming off the balcony above us. Like just pouring, like so it's like a waterfall coming off the balcony above, and I'm like, we gotta go. Like I don't know what's going on in here, but we need to get out of here now.
Wow.
But between those 8 guys digging up the whole beach and the water coming out of the room above us, I'm like, it's time to leave the Polynesian.
So that means Jason break the bathroom? Is that what it is?
No, I think those pipes I think a couple of months of inact. So here's the thing.
As much as we would
There
love
was
to
no-
say this was Jason's
Like, that'd be
fault.
hilarious. But the truth is, like, Disney World didn't have a plan for being closed for that long. Right? So there were no protocols of what the people left behind had to do other than like security people and stuff like that. So like no one knew to go run water and stuff in places. And the Polynesian pipes were already a problem. But clearly like a couple months, something happened. Like, I don't know if something crawled in there or the pipes broke or whatever happened. I'm not a plumber. I couldn't tell you what happens. Something went wrong. Right? And I will tell you, every other hotel room we stayed in, we reopened every single Disney World hotel on the day it reopened, right? There was not one I stayed in where the water did not come out black in the shower because no one thought to run the water in all the rooms before they reopened. There was no plan. And even by the end, I'm like, guys, you've been reopening hotels for 2 years. How does no one know to do this at this point? No one talked to each other. No one figured out. I remember I remember staying at the Contemporary the next month when the parks reopened, and they put us when they infamously put us in the presidential suite, which there's a tour of here on the channel. You could watch it, which had real Andy Warhol art on the wall, which is now in the lobby. You can go see it yourself now in the lobby. But like I remember having to run I had to run every shower in that room and every tub because it all came out black. I had to run them all for 20, 30 minutes to clean them out. Like no one knew what to do.
Well, I'm sure that we've missed some fantastic bathrooms, and I'm sure we've missed some terrible bathrooms.
Sanaa. I love the Sanaa bathrooms with the big weird bowl sinks. They're cool.
Yeah. Where's the one where you stand at weird angles, different? Is that Sanaa where there's like a urinal kind of in an alcove here and one of those restaurants? No.
Not Sanaa. I mean, the Boma and Jico ones are kind of funky.
Yeah, it could be those.
Their layout is weird, where the sink is in like the back corner and then you come out. And I'm like, you guys built this in 2001. How did this happen?
You know, speaking of bathroom, you know how Tokyo bathroom is like pretty much closed everything, but here have a wide gap between
Also, like
ground.
openings between the
but then like if you go to Riviera, their bathroom is fully closed.
That's like a deluxe resort thing, right? Like that's the Grand Floridian. They're like that too, where they're kind of sealed.
I don't know why I bristle every time somebody refers to Riviera as a deluxe resort, even though it's in a deluxe category. I just think of it as a notch below the ones that I consider deluxe.
I thought that was UCF housing for a minute.
It does look like
Eric
the Hooters.
always calls it the Hooters. Yeah,
It does look like the Hooters Hotel and Casino. With may it rest in peace. Now it's the oil.
My favorite thing is if we get grouped with people on the Skyliner as we go by Riviera, I'll always just be like, oh, that's a really pretty Hyatt house there. I'll just name some major chain. I'll just be like, wow, look at the Radisson.
I didn't know the Fairfield Inn had a gondola. Yeah.
They have a Radisson on property. I know some people like Riviera. I will tell you watch the room tours, right? We have them all. The 2-bedroom is great. Every other room type there is kind of bland, and I hate the interior of that. That lobby is hideous. The layout is poor.
The Wayfair lobby?
I hate the Topolino interior. Topolino is great food, whether you do the breakfast or the dinner. Either way, both a phenomenal restaurant. Primo Piatto, one of the best counter service restaurants on Disney property.
Yes.
Their dining, Bar Riva, fantastic. Their food and beverage team, top notch. Their hotel is ugly.
Yeah, it's hideous. There are beautiful touches. The archway you walk from between the Skyliner Hotel with the tile, the mosaics and all that stuff is jaw dropping.
I will say, DVC,
and the grounds are pretty, but the hotel is kind of an eyesore. It looks weird. And the rooms I don't do anything for me in the lobby. It's just like I said, it's like a Wayfair lobby, right? It's just
during the Chapek years, we had a real rough run of hotels being built and hotels being remodeled, right? I think people say they like Grandestino. Look, the lobby of Grandestino's solid. I like the big columns and the art.
I love the little recessed like lanterns or whatever.
That turned out all right. The rooms are awful. The walls are paper thin. The rooms aren't pretty. When I stayed there for the grand opening, I feel like I'm a member of the family of the people who live next door, stayed next door, because we heard every word of every conversation they had, and they were not speaking loud.
I know someone who worked on the design team for some of these hotels.
Yeah.
And the standard for like if you want to say a 5-star hotel is typically the headboards alternate walls.
Yeah.
And they insulate in between each room, neither of which they do there.
Yeah.
So
that's not a deluxe.
Yeah.
It's moderate.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like the standard that you would think for the price point you're paying.
Yeah.
Even though this is priced like a 5-star hotel often in a lot of cities, right? I realized this is not. The quality of their hotels is not to the standard of like a JW Marriott or a Ritz-Carlton or a Waldorf Astoria. Yeah. Even Disney's nicest hotels are not. What they have is beautiful theming, great location, often, and some fun dining and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But in terms of the room design, they just go cheap on some of that. And those are simple things that, to me, they don't sound like they're expensive, but I understand when you multiply it times 300, 500 rooms or whatever, that it is an expense that they try to avoid.
The industry passed them by, right? I think the biggest takeaway I had from when we all went to Vegas was the world passed them by, because there was stuff in those hotels there where I'm like, Disney used to lead the industry.
Vegas
And
is
they're
phenomenal.
behind. So many hotels there have blown them away.
Yeah.
They are not the industry standard in hotels. We had a couple of rough years, and I think they're starting to figure it out, right? Like, I will tell you, like, you stayed at the Disneyland Vacation Club with Jason. This was my first time seeing it. I was like, the exterior's fine. The lobby, I was like, oh, it looks nice. And then I went to the public bathrooms downstairs. Were the prettiest bathrooms I've ever seen anywhere. They're gorgeous.
Oh, Tom, we don't have time for the Disneyland.
No,
bathrooms.
we're not going to Disneyland. I just want to stay, bridging the gap with restrooms and modern Disney hotels. They've clearly, like, they listen to feedback, and they're like, well, we still want to be a modern hotel with these sort of amenities and these sorts of finishes. But our guests have said that they hate when they're a little plain, so we need to find the common ground, right? And we've seen it. I still think they're working on that balance, but I think the more recent stuff has been better than Riviera and Grand Destino
Of
was,
course.
for sure.
I've never stayed, I've stayed in a lot of Disney hotels. Some of them I really love. But I don't think I've ever stayed in a place like in Vegas where the room wasn't nicer than a Disney room. So whether you're staying like Wynn or Encore, which are kind of the upper
Yeah.
tier, even to moderate stuff, kind of like Planet Hollywood, which is not considered probably one of the premier properties, their rooms blow a Disney room away. Signature at MGM Grand, the rooms blow a Disney room away. Bellagio obviously blew.
I was blown
the
away by
quality.
the Wynn in general.
Wynn,
That
yeah.
was insane.
I stayed at Encore for a week one time, and it was just so nice because everything is thoughtful there, right? These people are on a different type of vacation. They're appealing to a different audience. Maybe not. It's not as family oriented. They're not grinding away at theme parks all day and coming and crashing, right? These are people that want that level of sophistication that you're going to offer in a Vegas hotel. But even some of the quote unquote lower end hotel, Mandalay Bay is not lower end, but it's a business hotel, right? It's a convention type of hotel. Still, same thing. The rooms are very nice, a little bigger than they need to be, probably.
Yeah.
Even the ones that are kind of quote unquote low end, we stayed at Harrah's, which is one of the cheaper ones.
Yeah.
Their rooms, that place is old. Their rooms are still very nice and compare favorably to most rooms that
They're
you're going to
better
find
than
here
the
at Disneyland.
value hotels at Disney, for sure,
Yeah.
See, we need to talk about Disney hotels next podcast.
Well, that's several.
I mean, the
episodes,
character
probably.
dining. I had a list on the character dining today, but I mean, obviously, we're not going to cover that.
We're not
but-
starting on character dining.
No, we are not going to do that today, but character dining hotels, because I was living in a Disney hotel last year. So.
Jake mentioned a restroom we didn't talk about, which I'm very sad about.
By the way, you can fill the comments with all of your favorite and least favorite
Yeah.
bathrooms because I'm sure there are tons of them.
Pioneer Hall.
Oh.
With the mural, the men's room. You miss
yeah.
out in the ladies' room.
The
The
butts.
men's room has the guys like putting on their pants at the campsite. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, Pioneer Hall. Not a lot
But
of
now
people-
there's no more Trails End to go to enjoy them. You have to go to table or counter service Trails End or Hoop-de-Doo now to enjoy those bathrooms. But
Hoop-de-doo, not a bad deal.
no, but you can't do Hoop-de-Doo every night.
If I could, I would.
I could do Trails End every night. Old Trails End, but
All right. Well, I guess that does it for us. I want to thank the WIGS first. You can learn more about becoming a WIGS member at wwnt.com/Patreon or patreon.com/WDW.
you get to see my legs live.
The WIGS are watching live with us right now as we record this. This normally gets recorded on Fridays and then launched on Tuesdays. It's actually Sunday now because I was traveling, Tom's traveling.
Yeah, it's a busy
What are we going to do? We got to coordinate our travel schedules and do this. So, are you going to be back in time to film next week? Yes, you
I will. I'm back on Thursday, yeah.
So,
Wow.
any closing thoughts, Nana, before we
Stay
bounce?
tuned for coverage of the Pixar Place Hotel, by the way. But go ahead, Nana.
I mean, that's what he wants to say. But I want to say I want to do the character dining podcast. So one day we will be back as a team and we will talk about character dining because I'm the character dining professional. Doo-hoo.
Your character dining professional.
Excuse me. Who else gonna be me? No. Don't you think so?
I think
Right?
I've been
Yeah.
to more character dining than you, but
That's not the point. That's not the point. I mean, I know people will watch you talking about character dining, but they want to have other people's opinion, aka
I
me.
didn't say we don't need to have other people's opinions, but I just like making that act.
And then you're gonna have a comment that say Tom is racist. You're gonna see that here.
Better than most things people say about me.
But yeah, this is how we operate every day. So,
This is us.
right?
Food
All
blog,
right.
we ain't.
Well, thanks for joining us. We will see you next time here on the WDW News Today podcast.
See you real soon.
Bye.